If you are trying to learn how to hack ethically, or of course, how to defend against hacks, where exactly do you practice? You're not just going to test on random websites, right? Because that could really land you in a very big trouble. That's why you need a cybersecurity lab. A lab is your testing ground, your personal testing ground, where you can safely try things, run tools, run attacks, mess things up, and you learn by doing. And the best part, you can set this up on your own laptop for free. No AWS bills, no illegal download, just open source tools and your curiosity. And in this video, I'm showing you exactly how to build your own lab step by step with explanations that actually makes sense. If you are serious about cybersecurity, whether red team or blue team, the lab is your gym. You learn the commands, you get hands-on with tools like Nmap for scanning, Wireshark for packet sniffing, Burp suits for intercepting web traffic, and Metasploit for exploitation. And when something breaks, and trust me, it will, you figure out how to fix it. That is where the real learning happens. Now think of it like this: you wouldn't become a surgeon by watching YouTube videos. You would need to practice. Cybersecurity is the same. So this lab gives you a safe local place to build skills without touching the real internet. This also helps you to build confidence before you touch a real environment. Here's what we are going to install. 1. VirtualBox. This lets you create and run virtual machines on your PC. 2. Kali Linux, your hacker machine. It has all the offensive security tools you will need. 3. A vulnerable target machine like Metasploitable 2, DVWA, or OWASP BWA. And 4. Would also do some networking tweaks to keep everything in a closed lab. You don't need a super computer. If you've got at least 8 gig of RAM and 50 gig free storage, you are good to go.
Go to virtualbox.org and download VirtualBox for your OS, be it Windows, Mac, or Linux. Right, so you'll be able to pick whatever platform you'll be downloading for. And yeah, don't forget to download VirtualBox extension pack. Just accept the terms and conditions and download. Go to kali.org and download the installer ISO. For our case, of course, we are installing for a virtual machine, so we'll pick for virtual machine. And since we are using VirtualBox, we install VirtualBox. I run VMware and I run a VirtualBox. I run Oracle's VirtualBox as well. But for the sake of this tutorial, we are sticking to VirtualBox. So I would just hit download and it will bring me a prompt to pick wherever it is I want to save the download files to. And that's basically just. Now we need something to attack. We just go to SourceForge or Rapid7. You can just Google this. You just go to Google and just search for Metasploitable. It brings you to SourceForge or it brings you to Rapid7. So you can download from either of the sites. And now that you have your victim downloaded, don't forget to just download and it will ask for where you want to save it to and download. Then now that we have our victim, your Kali is your attacker and Metasploitable is the victim. Now you have a battlefield fully loaded with whatever it is you need to simulate attacks and all of those things.
Now that we have VirtualBox, yeah, let us go through the process of bringing in the virtual machines that we downloaded. And so the first thing we'll be doing is we'll be extracting the 2 virtual machines we downloaded, which is Kali Linux 2025 for me and Metasploitable 2. And you would see that I have extracted Kali Linux 2025 and I'm going to extract Metasploitable right now. Now that we have extracted Metasploitable, let us go ahead and bring both Metasploitable and Kali Linux into VirtualBox. You right click and then you come to settings, or you can just use the settings from a click on the machine, then click on settings, and here you would want to come to storage. Mine is still loading, my settings is still loading, still on 30%. It shouldn't take this long for you if you don't have so many things on running on your host computer, right? So we can come to storage, and in storage we want to click on controller and SATA, right? Come on. Then you click on this, then you choose or create a virtual hard disk. Yeah, so we would select add, and then it should take you to your file manager, prompt you. Then now we'll be installing Kali Linux. We are bringing in Kali Linux into VirtualBox, and we'll just click on add. And that is, then we can go to settings, right, and tweak one or two things, but it's fine if you want to run it like this. It is fine if you want to run it like this, but there's a very important thing we have to do, because before we can start poking around with exploits, we need to isolate the lab, right? Because if you run a virtual vulnerable machine on your actual Wi-Fi, it could be exploited by someone else on the network, or might even mess with your real system. So we are going to be changing one or two things from the network, right? So we'll go to network, once everything is working, you can take a snapshot of each virtual machine. This is like saving your progress. So whenever you try new attacks or new tools and something breaks, you can just roll back instead of reinstalling from the scratch. Trust me, snapshot will be your safety. Now that your lab is live, it's time to pick your parts. Are you more curious about how to break into systems, the red team, or how to defend and detect those intrusion, the blue team? That's what we'll be covering in the next video. Red team versus blue team, which one you should choose. You will learn the tools, the mindsets, and career paths for each.